is cooking. They talk to me. You got your rules and your religion, all designed to keep you safe. But when rules start getting broken, you start questioning your faith. I have a voice that is my savior, hates to love and loves to hate. I have a voice that has the knowledge and the power to...
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special 2-in-1 edition of the WWE Wrestling Talk Show with Reese Rock Jones and
Sean.
it is that time of year again with one of the big 4 WWE pay-per-views, which means an edition of NXT Takeover.
Yes, NXT Takeover Wargames 2.
For the second year in a row, NXT are going for the Wargames, which should be an interesting match.
It should be 2 rings and 2 cages.
We've got 5 matches to go through on NXT Takeover, and then we will go to the November pay-per-view known as Survivor Series, or better known as this year as SmackDown vs. Raw.
Yes, so let's start off with our first match for NXT Takeover Wargames 2.
First off, Tommaso Ciampa will defend the NXT Championship against Velveteen Dream.
Who do we expect to win and walk away with the NXT Championship?
Well, with the character and the way that Velveteen Dream, aka Patrick Clark Jr., has been going, I could quite easily see him become the NXT champion.
There have been rumours going around that the Velveteen Dream face turn.
Well, it has happened. I mean, Tommaso Ciampa is a heel. Very rare that they do heel versus heel, although we will see one of those in Survivor Series, which we will get to in a while.
Yes.
The second match is a bit more personal.
And that is?
Well, on the 25th of July episode of NXT, Aleister Black would lose the NXT Championship to Tommaso Ciampa due to some interference from Johnny Gargano. Then, on August 8th, Aleister Black and Johnny Gargano have had a match which ended in no contest when Tommaso Ciampa interfered. A triple threat match was scheduled to take place at NXT Takeover Brooklyn 4.
Yeah.
However, Aleister Black was attacked before the show, which ruled him out of this match.
Yeah.
The attacker would be revealed to be Johnny Gargano, which would turn him into a heel and would schedule a match between Aleister Black and Johnny Gargano at NXT Takeover Wargames. Next we go to the infamous match
Known as
made famous by WCW and reintroduced into WWE last year. It is the Wargames match.
oh boy, this is going to be interesting.
This is the undisputed era of Adam Cole,
Baby.
Bobby Fish, who has returned from injury, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong will face the team of the United Kingdom champion Pete Dunne, the North American champion Ricochet, and the War Raiders.
Either way, this is going to be a very, very interesting match.
Yes, because this is a, how do we say, the rules of this match are slightly awkward. Because
Very, but however,
the match
let's
begins.
say the Undisputed Era have got a little bit of advantage.
Yes, because they won the War Games match that took place last year against Sanity and the Authors of Pain. Now, this will start as the match will begin with one member of each team in the cage
Yeah.
at 5-minute intervals. Normally, a member of one team will come into the match. The match cannot be won until all the members of each team is in the ring, and the match is won by pinfall or submission. This is basically, how do we describe it? The closest thing that WWE have had to this is probably the Elimination Chamber.
That is the closest we've ever got to that, but that is another time for another story.
Now we go to a match which dates back all the way to last year's Mae Young Classic.
Yeah.
In the final of last year's Mae Young Classic, Kairi Sane would defeat Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler would win the NXT Women's Championship in New Orleans on NXT Takeover New Orleans, only to lose it to Kairi Sane at that NXT Takeover Brooklyn. However, due to a little bit of outside interference from the horsewomen, not counting a certain one,
Yeah.
Shayna Baszler would win the championship back at Evolution. Now these two women will collide again, except this time it will be 2 out of 3 falls.
Now, you bet you're wondering, haven't we had this kind of match before? Well, the answer to that is yes.
Yes. But 2 out of 3 falls, there will be depending on the scenario, there will be a grand total, really, of 3 matches in one. The first superstar to win 2 matches or 2 falls wins the overall match and the NXT Women's Championship.
And so, that about does it for NXT TakeOver Wargames 2.
Well, we have one throwaway match which we'll quickly mention between Matt Riddle and Cassius Ohno.
So that is a bit of a throwaway. But anyway, that about does it for NXT Takeover Wargames 2.
Join us in a while where we will go over Survivor Series, or as we like to call it, SmackDown vs. Raw.
We were born for greatness. Somebody sound the alarm. Fire was set in the dark. It's time that you know. No, we're not nameless, we're not faceless. We were born for greatness. It doesn't matter if the world is going mad. If we just hold on, if we just hold on, yeah. The sky is falling and the world is going mad. And we sing our songs and we just hold on, yeah. So if you're running, stop running. One life, one chance, start living. Sing it louder just to let the world know. No, we're not nameless, we're not faceless. We were born for greatness. We're not nameless, we're not faceless. We were born for greatness. We're not nameless, we're not faceless. We were born for greatness. I'm reckless, because I'm relentless. They spit on my face and crush on my name and taking my life in vengeance. Yeah, you could try and blame us and try and take what's sacred, but we're not nameless, we're not faceless. We were born for greatness. Somebody sound the alarm. Fire was set in the dark. It's time that you know. No, we're not nameless, we're not faceless. We were born for greatness. It doesn't matter if the world is going mad. If we just hold on, if we just hold on, yeah. The sky is falling and the world is going mad. And we sing our songs and we just hold on, yeah. So if you're running, stop running. One life, one chance, start living. Sing it louder just to let the world know. No, we're not nameless, we're not faceless. We were born for greatness. We're not nameless, we're not faceless. We were born for greatness. No, we're not nameless, we're not faceless. We were born for greatness. Somebody sound the alarm. It's time that you know. It doesn't matter if the world is going mad. If we just hold on, if we just hold on, yeah. Sing it louder just to let the world know. No, we're not nameless, we're not faceless. We were born for greatness. No, we're not nameless, we're not faceless. We were born for greatness. No, we're not nameless, we're not faceless. We were born for greatness. We were born for greatness. No, we're not nameless, we're not faceless. We were born for greatness. Red alert, John, shine a light down. On the front lines of my mind now. Riding my time on the high ground. Blinded, but I'm still alive. Shout, oh! They said we're lucky to have got this far, and that is not worth fighting for. The words are
And welcome back to Survivor Series.
Well, as you heard from JR, it's Raw versus SmackDown.
Or SmackDown vs. Raw. The battle for brand supremacy continues. Now, we've got 8 matches. Out of these 8, one will take place on the pre-show. One will take place on the pre-show. One is not a SmackDown vs. Raw match, and 2 have been changed drastically last minute.
We'll go on to those later on, but we'll kick off with one of the pre-show matches.
On the pre-show, the tag team divisions of Raw and SmackDown will go head-to-head in a Survivor Series match.
So on Team Raw we have
the captains of Bobby Roode and Chad Gable, Glorious Gable.
And representing Team Raw with Glorious and Gable are
The Revival of Das Wilder and Scott Dawson. The B team of Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. Lucha House Party of either Lince Studo, Kalisto, or Glenn Metallic. Any combination of those 3 will take place. And then the squash team of the Ascension. Representing SmackDown, we have the captains of Jimmy and Jay, the Usos. We also have The New Day, who will have any combination of Big E, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods.
Yeah.
We have Sanity, who will have any combination of Alexander Wolf, Eric Young and Killian Dane. We have Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, and the Forgotten Colognes of Epico and Primo.
So which tag team division do we think is taking the point?
Well, for me, SmackDown has the stronger tag team division. So for this one, I would predict the Team SmackDown will win.
I agree with your opinion as well. Because, well, let's say SmackDown has a better tag team division.
Now, as we go to the other matches on the card, we might as well start with the one match, which is not SmackDown vs. Raw, and may also take place on the pre-show, but it's not confirmed. And that is Buddy Murphy defending the Cruiserweight Championship against Mustafa Ali.
And I think Mustafa Ali earned this opportunity by winning a #1 contender match.
That does tend to be how people get title matches.
But not in this case, though.
Because Mustafa Ali defeated Tony Nese to become #1 contender. Now here, I can't decide because it was at Super Showdown at the beginning of October that Buddy Murphy defeated Cedric Alexander to become Cruiserweight Champion. And Mustafa Ali has come up short again, losing to Cedric Alexander at WrestleMania when they did the tournament finals to crown the new champion, following the filing of He Who Must Not Be Named. Anton Moore.
Yes.
So this one I can't really call, but I personally feel like they should keep the title on Buddy Murphy maybe a little longer. But now we go to for SmackDown vs. Raw. And the first match is the first match which was changed due to some
Injury.
which we'll get into. Originally, this was built as Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey versus SmackDown Women's Champion Becky Lynch. However, when Becky Lynch decided to invade Raw with the rest of the SmackDown Women's division, in the brawl that ensued, she was clocked straight in the face by Nia Jax.
Now, we don't know whether this was intentional or accidental. We have no idea.
It wasn't intentional, but it was completely and utterly reckless. The internet has been blowing up over this since Becky Lynch has suffered a broken nose and a concussion. Now, Nia Jax has had a history of hurting people. Bayley.
Yes.
Selena Vega. Alexa Bliss at some point. We understand that in this line of work, botches and injuries happen, and you can and will get hurt. However, I would be more forgiven if she just pulled her arm back and Becky Lynch was just standing there in the wrong place for a long time. However, she turned around and clobbered Becky Lynch
right on the bridge of the nose, resulting in her getting a broken nose and her being busted open.
And Nia, you need to be more careful. You need to learn how to not hurt people.
So, as a result, Becky Lynch is unable to compete this Sunday at Survivor Series.
And on SmackDown, she chose her replacement.
And not a bad one, I might add.
Her replacement is now the match, has turned this into the match which was rumoured to happen at WrestleMania.
But we're getting it early.
Because her replacement is her arch enemy, or was her arch enemy, Charlotte.
Yes, so we're going to get Charlotte Flair versus the WWE Raw Women's Champion, Ronda Rousey.
Which, after playing a heel for the past few months, has turned Becky Lynch back into a face.
Yes. But who do we see winning this match between Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair?
Well, if it was Becky Lynch versus Ronda, I would have said Ronda, no doubt. The fact that it's Charlotte versus Ronda, I still say Ronda Rousey, because I do not think that Ronda will lose until WrestleMania. And because they can't do this match at Survivor Series, there is now talk that they will somehow do Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch at WrestleMania, which is quite possibly a better stage to do it, because it could be a better match than Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte.
So what is our next battle? Next match for Brand.
Next, Raw's Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins will take on SmackDown's United States Champion Shinsuke Nakamura.
So we have the King of Strong Style in Shinsuke Nakamura against the King Slayer Seth Rollins.
Don't you mean the King of Low Blows, or is that someone else at this point?
So who do we see winning this match?
This can go one of either way. and it depends entirely on what a certain individual does.
Yeah, it does.
I would say that Seth Rollins wins this match unless Dean Ambrose gets involved.
Which is probably highly likely.
The next match has the potential to be very interesting.
Yes, and that match is?
That match is the second match which has been changed last minute.
Following event on this past SmackDown.
For those of you who follow, we all know that for 1 year, AJ Styles reigned SmackDown as WWE Champion. And he was scheduled to face the Universal Champion, Brock Lesnar, for the second year in a row at Survivor Series. That wasn't until SmackDown.
Yes, let us explain what happened on SmackDown.
AJ Styles came out to the ring to open SmackDown and cut the promo. Then Mr. Heyman appeared and basically said that AJ Styles was the second best in-ring performer to a certain Daniel Bryan.
Yes.
AJ Styles would then go on to say how he'd beaten Daniel Bryan, would talk a bit about Daniel Bryan. This would rule Daniel Bryan out.
Yes, and let's just say AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan got into a huge war.
Yes, because Daniel Bryan said, "You say my name one more time, I'll punch you in the face." And he did. This would result in a brawl because Daniel Bryan was initially scheduled to be on co-captain of Team SmackDown in the 5-on-5 match. So after literally dragging down the path, Shane McMahon makes a WWE Championship match for Raps main event.
Literally out of nowhere.
That's your trick.
I know. Shame on you, you've been seeing my roll-up, how dare you.
So, in the closing stages of this match, AJ Styles is going for the phenomenal forearm. Daniel Bryan moves. There's a collision with the referee. The referee is down, or not down, but not seeing everything. Daniel Bryan, out of nowhere, hits AJ Styles with a low blow. Then comes the running knee. And the 1-2-3, which means that for the first time since WrestleMania 30, and I never thought I would say this again, Daniel Bryan is WWE Champion.
But also in the process, turning heel for the first time since 2012.
Which means the match at Survivor Series is now the reigning, defending, undisputed Universal Champion Brock Lesnar
Oh boy.
versus WWE Champion, the leader of the, I'm not sure what to call it, movement at the moment, Daniel Bryan. Now here, I would say that it should be the same type of match that we had in 2013 when CM Punk took on Brock Lesnar, and the same kind of match we had last year when Lesnar took on Styles. But I do not, unfortunately for Daniel Bryan, I do not see him winning. Even though it's a heel versus heel situation.
Very much so.
So we move on from that to the 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination match I was just talking about.
Yes. Team Raw versus Team SmackDown.
Team Raw, captained by, surprisingly enough, the acting general manager Baron Corbin, who isn't even in the match.
Yeah.
And Team Raw will be Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, and Bobby Lashley.
Team SmackDown.
Team SmackDown will be captained by the A-lister The Miz.
And his teammates are
Shane McMahon, Rey Mysterio, Samoa Joe, and replacement for Daniel Bryan, Jeff Hardy.
So who do we see taking the overall win for their brand?
I cannot call this, but because of the potential matches which is rumored to be coming up, I would probably say Team Raw.
But then again, you got to bear in mind Braun Strowman and the situation between Braun Strowman and Baron Corbin.
True, but then the situation between Miz and Shane McMahon.
So it really could go either which way.
And then we have the 5-on-5 elimination match for the women.
So on the Raw women's team is...
Well, the Raw women's team will be captained by Alexa Bliss, who again will not be competing in this match.
Because she's unfortunately carrying an injury.
The Team Raw will consist of Mickie James, injury Nia Jax, so everyone better watch out.
Yeah.
Tamina,
Yeah.
Natalia, and the leader of the Riot Squad, Ruby Riot.
Yeah. So on Team SmackDown for the women is...
Team SmackDown we have Carmella, Naomi, Sonya Deville, Asuka, and a to-be-determined female competitor, because the first person was supposed to be Charlotte, but we know what she's doing now.
Yeah.
The winner of this one, I would probably go SmackDown, but it in a way it could depend on who this fifth female competitor is on Team SmackDown. And the fact that, with the exception of Natalia, the entire team of Team Raw is heel.
Yeah.
And the final Raw vs SmackDown match, because they've said what the other ones were, is the champions of the tag teams. We told you about the tag team divisions going head to head, though we did not mention the champions.
No, we did not.
The Authors of Pain of Akam and Laser, who won the tag team championships for Raw in Manchester in my presence.
Yeah, you witnessed that championship winning moment when you were live in Manchester last week, 2 weeks ago.
Will take on the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, The Bar.
So which tag team do you see winning? Oh wait, it's already an easy decision. The Authors of Pain.
I would say, despite the fact that The Bar have the Big Show in their corner, I would say the Authors of Pain, yes.
So, that about does it for Survivor Series 2018 pre-show.
Yes, both NXT Takeover Wargames, which takes place on Saturday, and Survivor Series, which takes place on Sunday, will come at us from the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California.
And don't forget, Survivor Series crowds are known to be kind of like the WrestleMania crowd.
A little bit, yes, but join us next week where we shall bring you the results and reactions to both NXT Takeover Wargames and Survivor Series. Until then, he's been
Sean Mandy Smith, and he's been
Luis Rocha. We'll see you next week.
until then, bye bye.